to 30,000 people the day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
5.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Championship Monday. We will have a college basketball men's champion when we reconvene tomorrow, but we got a lot to do before then. Boy, do we have a Saturday to unpack, a weekend to get through. Some drama, some collapse, some comeback, some insane play. Wow, what we have is Houston, and we have Florida. And we got a pretty good opportunity to see something special tonight. Good morning and Merry Monday. It is your opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. I'm Jeff Symbieta. He is JJ Buck. Thank you for being with us on this beautiful Monday morning. How you living?
What'd it do?
How was the weekend?
Good weekend.
Good weekend? I like that. Look, I got to see you out there. Both you and I went out for a little bit and watched some little football over the weekend.
Practice.
It was a scrimmage.
Practice.
Yeah, we're talking practice. It was good. I certainly got some thoughts on what we got to witness, but boy, what happened that night was something that people will be talking about for a long, long time. And it was a semifinal game, not a final, but it was on the biggest stage in college basketball, the Final Four. And you can tell me it was a great comeback, and you will be right. And it was a collapse for the ages. 70-67. Houston comes back and beats Duke. They trailed by 6 with 13 seconds left. They were down 14 in the last 8 minutes. They were trailing the whole game. This was Duke's game until it wasn't. L.J. Cryer, 26 points. Houston held Duke to 37.5% shooting in the second half. 20%, or right about there, lower than what they shot in the first 4 games of the tournament. Cooper Flagg had the ball in his hand at the big moment. I thought he got a good look. He just didn't hit the shot. JJ, I don't want to take the credit from Houston. I don't want to take away what they did, because they certainly forced the turnovers. They hit big shots. They didn't quit. But holy bleep. That was, I mean, when we always talk about it, was it 70-30 collapse?
Yeah, that's the range you're at. When you're up at that point with just 30 seconds to go, final few possessions, you have a 2-possession lead. That's a collapse. You're forced into it. For every collapse, there's a comeback. You have to have a little bit of one or the other for it to work. And Houston never stopped playing. The pressure they put, Duke could not inbound the basketball. Mm-hmm. Sloppy, started playing on their heels late. So you credit Houston for making the plays, That's but right. It's a collapse when you have that type of lead that late in a ball game. And Duke was just going through the motions. They're like, all right, we're up. We're going to close this down. It's not going to get tight. And then all of a sudden, you're like, wait a second, this dude's at the free throw line shooting free throws. And it doesn't matter if you didn't like the call or not. You still had to give up the run before that for then Roberts to go to the free throw line.
It was a horrible call.
To hit the free throws.
Do we agree?
To go ahead.
Horrible call?
Yeah, I didn't like the over the back at all.
It just wasn't. But here's why it was more collapse than comeback. And again, this takes nothing from Houston, because they forced those turnovers, because they hit those shots, because they did not quit. But when you're missing free throws at pressure time, when you get a good look and you don't convert, when you look like a rec league team, and I don't, if that's overstating it, I'll eat that, trying to inbound the basketball. Like I think John Schreier's terrific, okay? I think as a head coach, what he's done, we may sit here and say he is one of the best ever to replace the guy, right? When you replace a legend, right? And time will play that out. And he got his team to the Final Four, and he did it quickly, and all those things. But Kelvin Sampson feels like his team is prepared for every moment. The inbounds play that was the Elite 8 round where they won the game at the end. The pressure defense, knowing their situations. There's got to be an inbounds play. And look, again, the pressure that Houston applies is fantastic. But you've got to have one of those football plays or a pass out of bounds play or something to get the ball inbounds. And the one where they just threw it up and it got intercepted and ran out to the 3-point line, and they missed the 3-point play, the 3-point shot, but it was the tip dunk to get them to within one. To me, that's where it broke. That was where it broke, right there. And yeah, you had the Cooper Flagg call, but that's why I say 70-30 on the collapse. And it feels like you're taking something away from Houston, and I just don't want to, because I think the way they play, they're always in a game, and the fact that they couldn't score until the last 8 minutes of the game was insane, and then how they turned it on and they hit shots, and everything about what they did. They forced the turnovers. They hit big shots. So I feel like when I say 70-30, it feels like it's taking something away from Houston, and I don't want to. But holy smokes, Duke.
Yeah, so Houston's pressure helped Duke continue to fall apart. And that's why I created this collapse comeback meter, because it's not one or the other. Right. You have to have 100%. A little bit of both for a team to come back like that, and for Duke to be in that position, 2-possession game, 30 seconds left, and not find a way to win it. That's atrocious. And you're right. It's players making plays. That's stuff you drill all the time. That's stuff you work on into practice situations throughout the entire year of, okay, late game inbounds. what are we going to run?
Yeah.
And in those moments, they're not always going to have a timeout. There's one timeout left. And, Schreier, you can understand while the game was getting tight, he didn't want to waste it. So you can't just always rely on, we're going to call a timeout, we're going to set something up. You have to be ready. And the Duke players were not ready when the game was tight.
They still had a chance. I don't hate what they ran, getting the ball to Cooper Flag. It was a little bit of a fadeaway in the paint, about a 10, 12-foot fadeaway jumper. I don't hate the look that they got on their second to last possession. Do you? I mean, I thought.
No, get Cooper Flag in the post, turnaround jumper.
Yeah, I got my Naismith Player of the Year, the National Player of the Year. I got the ball where I wanted. I mean, again, this is where, is he a great coach or is he, players make plays, right? Well, I mean, Schreier drew up the play and he got it to the right place and guy makes a shot. If he doesn't, you lose the game. Kelvin Sampson's terrific. And like I told you on Friday, every one of these stories would be great. Every one of them. Bruce Pearl on the comeback trail and found it home in Auburn, and that would have been a great story. Todd Golden, the Wunder kid who's coming up and came from San Francisco, played for Bruce Pearl, and that would be great. The Schreier story would have been great, right? Replacing the legend. Kelvin's never won one, and the veteran who has just been doing it at Houston on this run. And everybody said, well, wait till they step up from the American to the Big 12. Then we'll see. All they did was go 19-1 in the Big 12 and didn't lose a game on the road in conference. They've lost one game all year in regulation. But holy smokes. And he's terrific, man. Kelvin's teams, don't they feel like they're just prepared for every situation?
Yeah, they have this edge to them. What they do defensively, they play really hard to the bitter end, and you see all the highlights of practice and put a bubble over the rim, the way they go out rebounding shows their physicality, and it paid off because that's what got them the victory against Duke in the Final Four to send them to their national title game.
Yeah. All right, we're here for you today. You're already getting in on the text line at 505-246-0610. I welcome you to do that, 505-246-0610. Your emails come in this morning. They're coming in as well. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. On the X, it's _ JJ Buck. You can watch the show. We are live on Xfinity Channel 26 throughout the state of New Mexico, on our Facebook page, The OD in the AM, and of course on the ProView Networks YouTube channel. Adrian's producing for us over on ProView Networks. We're going to go everywhere today. One of the great records in sports was broken over the weekend, and I thought it was done with class, and I loved I just so much about it. You're generational, right? Are you a Gretzky guy or are you an Ovechkin guy? And I'm Gretzky. But you and I talked about this the other day. It's kind of cool the way this has come down. So the all-time goal record in the National Hockey League fell. We got a women's champion, and it's a very familiar champion. The NBA is getting really, really spicy as we get down to the last week and a half before the playoffs start. It is Masters Week. Where are Dion's players going to go in the NFL draft, which is now coming up in about, 2.5 weeks. So a ton to do. Us and you at 5. Oh, and the Lobos have another player on the basketball team, and they're getting a little defensive with it. So when we come back, we'll get into Chris Howell, who he is, and little by little, your roster's coming together. Do you feel better about that? 505-246-0610. Happy Monday. Glad you're with us on the opening drive. Hey, John Thomas is going to Antwerp, Belgium. John Thomas Jewelers is my jeweler. I know they will be yours. They already are if you've been into John's place. And if not, I don't know what you're waiting for. But we're running out of time here. Today is April 7th. You got the rest of the week. April 11th is your deadline to take advantage of this incredible deal. For a limited time, when you pre-order your Antwerp diamond, starting at just $3,000, John is going to give you a free engagement or anniversary upgrade ring. Antwerp diamonds. What's the deal? People, why is that so much better? Because 80% of the world's loose diamonds flow through Antwerp, Belgium. That's where the finest diamonds are sourced. That means you get unmatched quality and unmatched value. John's got 35 years of diamond experience. Take advantage of it. Have them hand pick a bigger, brighter, more beautiful diamond than anything you can find in New Mexico. There's no middleman. There's no mass production. It's just your perfect diamond at an incredible price. So you got this week. Pre-order by April 11th. Take advantage of this. Let them find your 1 in a million diamond. Go by and see John's place. Every time I walk in there, I'm amazed. You'll see why they've been voted America's coolest jewelry store. It's on the 3rd floor of the Lewis University building, 2440 Louisiana Northeast, Suite 10. On Louisiana, south of Manal, right across from the Coronado Mall. You go upstairs and you realize, and it's not just engagement rings, although they got 3,000 of them there for you to choose from. Watches, stud earrings, diamond necklaces, whatever it is you're looking for. And if they don't have it, he'll make it right there in his state-of-the-art design center. John Thomas Jewelers, where Albuquerque gets engaged.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 50.
Well, Stigler thinks it was more comeback than collapse. And I respect that. Houston put the clamps down and forced the turnovers. Now, they didn't force missed free throws. But whatever percentage you put it at, boy, it's going to be hard to eat for Duke. And some of those guys for the rest of their lives. You know? And, I mean, was the Cooper flag call bad? Yeah, it was bad. Yeah. You got to play through it.
But you still had to give up the points and mistakes to get it to that point where a guy that's shooting just over 60% at the foul line steps up and hits both to take the lead.
Yeah. Text line, it might or might not have been a bad over-the-back call against Duke. However, they have been the benefactor of plenty of those calls in the past. Houston made plays and shots when they had to. Duke tanked the free throw and looked uncharacteristically out of sorts in the last 1 to 2 minutes of the game. Congrats to Houston for winning. They earned it. Yeah. And that's why, you know, when you start doing comeback versus collapse, they made the shots, dude. They backed it up and went to the three-point line and hit shots, followed dunks, forced the turnovers. I mean, if you want to tell me 60-40, I'd listen to it. I just, boy, oh boy. This one, referring to the women's game, Connecticut's 86, South Carolina 59, UConn once again. The national champion sitting atop of the mountain of women's college basketball. Gino Auriemma wins again. This says, who experienced a bigger loss? The South Carolina women's basketball team or my 401k? Easy answer. Your 401k. I mean, easy answer. I haven't even looked today. I don't want to. I'm scared to death to look today. Have you looked? Is the market open yet?
I got nothing to look at.
I just don't want to look.
By the way, that UConn
it's down 5.5% this morning already to open. Holy bleed.
Sugar, we're going down.
Oh, my. None of us are ever retiring, dude. They say $7 trillion was lost in the market.
Oh, but we're going to be great again. Don't worry.
Well, all right then. And then everything's all right. Okay.
Yeah, right?
I mean, we're never retiring. Holy shit.
We're tariffing penguins now, so we're good.
That's a pretty good point, man.
we're going to get it back from them penguins. It's our ice now.
Yeah. It's our ice now.
Making ice in America.
Yeah. Yep. I want American ice. It's for ice like you've never seen before. Nobody's ever seen this best ice. All right. What were you going to tell me?
I was going to have a point on UConn.
Yeah.
What they did, really, even being a 2 seed, kind of came out of nowhere, the dominance, but they put themselves in the conversation for best team ever with this run. Like, there's some really good teams in this tournament that got their doors blown off.
UCLA got beat by 34 on Friday night, and then they ran South Carolina out of the building by, 23? Yeah. They beat SC, right? They beat SC too. Now, SC was without Juju Watkins, and that was the 1 seed in their region. I would have loved to see SC with Juju Watkins against them, because SC played with them for a while until they ran it. They got blown out. Yeah, they killed fools. They killed fools, and it was good to see. You know, if you're into the story, Paige Beckers and Ozzie Fudd, they missed last season with knee injury and health and all those things, and then Sarah Strong was so good as a freshman. I don't know if this is the best team they've ever had, but they've got 12 wins in the Final Four by 20 or more points. What they do when they get here, I read something and it's right. What Gino Auriemma has done is John Wooden like. Now, he'll never get the credit because it's women's basketball as opposed to men's basketball. And the separation of power, the separation of talent, the separation, top to bottom in women's basketball is greater than it's always been greater than it is in men, right? Do we agree with that?
Yes.
It just is. So he won't ever get the credit in many circles, but at 71 years old and still doing what he's doing, when we talk about the greatest coaches ever, whether it's Wooden, Krzyzewski, Lombardi, Belichick. I mean, pick your sport. He has to be in the conversation, doesn't he? He has to be in those conversations. He won't be because it's women's sports, right? In many people's minds, in many people's conversations, and it's just in your consciousness. When you think of greatest ever, do you, right? Oh yeah, he's the greatest coach in women's sports.
Yeah, it's an asterisk that people put on it. But to do it over 30 years, winning a title in 95, to now winning a title in 2025. He's had dominant stretches, but it's also a credit to the game that it hasn't just been UConn or bust, because the game has grown and it seems to have gotten better across where now the elite talent is still tighter at the top. But for what he was able to do, and the amount of Final Fours is insane. So he's still getting there a lot of times. But to win titles in multiple ways, he's in that conversation. And like you said, a lot of people won't give him that credit, won't put him on that list because it's just women's basketball. But when we're talking best coaches ever, he is on that list.
You know, one of the things that I always think about when I consider the best ever is what were they before that person got there? And before Gino got to you, and first of all, UConn, what the University of Connecticut. I know in the last 30 years they've won men's and women's basketball titles, and they are a basketball power. But before Jim Calhoun got there for the men and Gino got there for the women, go look it up. I mean, they weren't relevant. Kind of like Duke was not relevant, and I know this is hard to fathom, before Mike Krzyzewski got there, right? Women's basketball before Gino Auriemma, the powers were Tennessee. JJ, I know people are going to laugh at me, but go look it up. Louisiana Tech was a power.
Kim Mulkey.
USC, when Cheryl Miller was there, was a power. There were a handful of schools, and it wasn't Connecticut. And now you can't tell the story of women's college basketball, let alone a season of women's college basketball, without Gino Auriemma and UConn. And so when I start thinking about greatest ever, I was just thinking what was there before? Did he build the whole thing? And he did. He like Krzyzewski built it at Duke. And I'm not taking anything away from somebody who goes to Kentucky or Carolina and is really good. But there's something special about just going in and building something out of dirt, right? What was UConn before Gino Auriemma got there?
Well, and not just have a moment, but to have decades.
3 decades? Yeah. Yeah.
Of changing in it. And yes, you can recruit at the top, but we've seen over
But why can you recruit to the top? Because you've built it.
Well, he built it.
Yeah.
But it's also one that we've seen then people come and chip in. And the talented players, whenever the best players, the last few, Caitlin Clark was at Iowa, Juju Watkins, USC, what LSU and South Carolina have done because of chasing the UConn model.
Yeah. He's just, look, man, you can give me all the great coaches ever. And these lists are so arbitrary, and there's not somebody who's right and someone's wrong. If you tell me Belichick and Wooden and Lombardi and Landry, and I mean, look, there's been great coaches in every sport at every level. It's hard pressed to find a top 5 all-time coaches, and look, and you're going to tell me Pat Summitt, and you're not wrong there either, right? What she did at Tennessee, but the man's still doing it, man. At 71 years old, he just won another one. And Don Staley was ready to take the mantle, right? I mean, South Carolina was the new it.
Mm-hmm. They're right there. And oldest coach to ever win a national title in either men's or women's basketball.
71 years old in 14 days. All right, so that's there for you. 505-246-0610. I want to talk about Louisville's new player and the recruiting for Louisville men's basketball when we get back. We'll get into the women. I got a email on that as well. 505-246-0610. That is the Sports Animal phone line. It is our text line as well. He's JJ Buck, and I'm Jeff Symbieta on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report brought to you by the
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own.
And you get Houston right here in your home for the NCAA tournament, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. I'm Jeff Symbieta. He's JJ Buck. Thank you for being with us this morning. You're watching the championship and you're watching the portal as well. Lobos get a guy named Chris Howell who started all 35 games for UC San Diego this past season. He comes over with his former head coach, now current head coach, Eric Olin. 6'6", he's not going to score you a bunch of points, but you get a guy who's going to shut someone down, right? You get a guy, and look, I don't know who the scorer is going to be in the league next year, but you play Wyoming, and who's guarding Obi Ogbam, right? Here you go. Here's Chris Howell. You play, who's guarding Udeze for San Jose State? Who's guarding Miles Bird for
Well, if
San
you have
Jose
Baylor on the schedule, you can guard Obi.
Well, but I mean, in that situation, right? The last year kind of a thing, right? I don't know.
6'6" defensive stopper that has some of the best defensive metrics in college basketball last season. Not bad.
Yeah, and you can get into those as far as the defensive metrics, but I think getting a guy like this, especially historically the way this league has been, go down the last couple of years. How did San Diego State excel? It was with defense. How did New Mexico rise to the top? And I believe defense was the difference. And getting a player like this, I think, fits in perfectly to the blueprint of how to rise to the top of the Mountain West Conference.
Yes. The Lobos were able to take a step forward this season, even with the pace they play, the scoring numbers, because of what they did defensively. And you have a guy that's experienced in the system, that's going to be long, athletic. It's a good get, and this is what is going to happen. You're going to have some of those connections. It's going to take a little bit of time. I know people are super anxious. It's understandable, but it's funny seeing some of the people asking, like, are they even recruiting? What are they? Of course they're recruiting. Like, it's just they're not going to be able to announce 12 players overnight. There's so much going on, so many players and agents having discussions all over the place.
Well, and there's still, thousands of guys in the transfer portal as well, and plenty of guys still haven't gone. You saw Jovan Milicevic over the weekend committed to Xavier. If you didn't see it, it happened. So Jovan Milicevic and Philip Borovichinin, they follow Richard Pitino and that staff to Cincinnati, and they'll play for Xavier next year. Of course, Braden Applehans has gone to Drake. Donovan Dent gone to UCLA. Cade Dotson, True Washington, Quentin Webb, Daniel Thomas still in the portal. At this point, they have not committed anywhere. The one guy that is coming back is Ibrahima Sakho. And Sakho will be, 6'6". He got a few minutes in spelling Nelly Jr. Joseph last year. I appreciate having a guy with some familiarity in systems, and with 1 year, this will be a CJ Nolan kind of a transfer, I believe, don't you? Right? A guy played at St. Mary's and at UC San Diego who's got 1 year left. I had some championship, but played for this coach. It's going to feel like I don't know how leaders rise, but it feels like this is going to be somebody who is going to be a glue, a leader, somebody who's going to be familiar with the coach and the coaching staff.
And his brother is an assistant coach.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, this was what a lot of people are pointing to. And all right, you have Chris Howell. His brother is on the staff. His brother followed Eric Olin to UNM. Like, this was going to happen. Yeah. And it's a guy that played at a high level at St. Mary's for 2 years, so it's not just one where it's just because there's a family member on the staff he has this opportunity. This is a really good defender, good size, and the way that UCSD played, you want to see some of that defensive tendency, defensive operation on next year's squad, and that's a good piece to start with.
Here's the deal in the portal. You got another basically 2 weeks. It closes 2 weeks from tomorrow, April 22. That is the date players who want to be eligible to play for a new team must declare their intent in the portal. Okay, that's not the last day that teams can sign or recruit players from the portal. That goes all the way through the first day of classes. But that is when you're holding on to your roster. And I know the women are doing that too. And I saw Mike Bradbury last week, and he's holding his breath, right? With the women's team and where they are, and who's going to go in and who's not going to go in, and it's just part of being college basketball now. James hates it. Mercenaries and NIL are destroying college sports, and it better stop, Jeff. I thought Ken Sickinger's column was amazing. Lady Lobos might be the preseason Mountain West Conference favorite with only 5 in the portal. And what are we paying for? As he pointed out, the former Phillies stats at their new schools don't exactly blow your socks off. Ken, or was it who just sent me that? Was it Ken? No, James. James, it will not stop. It is going to get more intense every year. Players are going to jump in the portal just to see what's there and maybe come back. And as long as coaches say you're welcome to come back, they're going to go and test the waters and see how much more money they can get somewhere else. But it is not going to stop. It is going to get more intense. I thought Ken did a nice job in kind of tracking down, is the grass always greener somewhere else? And how did Paula Reyes do at Loyola? And how did Nia Wilson do at Missouri? And how did Natalia Chavez do at Abilene Christian? And all the whatever. Is the grass always greener? No. There may be more green in your pocket at other places. And maybe not.
Yeah, and they're not necessarily throwing around a ton of NIL money in the women's game. So a lot of this is still just thinking that you're going to be able to go somewhere else and crack that rotation.
Who had the best? Was it Nia Wilson? She played 31 games.
No, it was Natalia Chavez.
Was it not at Abilene Christian?
She had a role. If you looked at Nia Wilson, the game log, second half of the season, coming off the bench,
so she
barely
didn't play much at all. Yeah, but she went and played in the Big 12.
Yeah,
and I'm going to guess there was probably a couple more bucks there, right?
Yeah, she's one that potentially got a better deal, and some of the other players. I know there's a lot of frustration last year of losing these players, but at some point too, you got to look in the mirror, and you want to be confident in yourself. And you look at Natalia Chat, Mackenzie Curtis, awesome person, but you could see there's a ceiling. You're gonna have to go down if you think you're just gonna step in the starting line.
Well, she went to Idaho, played in 11 games, 3.7 minutes per game. Not even 2 points per game. Well, is the grass always greener? No, it's not. But to James, to your point, the transfers have to stop. And I think you know the answer. And as frustrated as you think you might be, and how did that start? Did it say NIL? And NIL is not what's killing us here. If it bothers you that the players are getting paid, I'm sorry.
It's can they figure out a system in which you're not transferring every single year.
That's the one that I just don't think it is good for anybody. I don't know.
No sport operates that way.
There's one definition of how this is good. Only one. And it might be the overall most important one, and that's if you're getting more money. I'm going to Long Beach State this year, then I'm going to New Mexico next year, then I'm going to Baylor next year, then I'm going to North Carolina next year, and I'm getting more money every year. If that's the one metric that matters, okay, then maybe that's the one way. But as far as stability, education, degree, all these things, I'd love to see that study. How many people that are transferring more than once are getting degrees in 4 years?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because at some point, that's cool, man. You max out, and let's say you got $2 million to play basketball your senior year. That's awesome. Did you get your degree?
Well, you better hope that it's something you want to get at some point in time.
What do you mean?
The degree. And to figure out what you want to do with your life and your money moving forward. Because you're right, they're going to continually lose if they don't find an offer that can get student athletes on board. And the only, is it 2-year deals with the potential buyout because with revenue sharing involved, the university's paying money. We can start legit talking about contracts and buyouts on contracts of, okay, you want to transfer? Cool. Well, this is what.
Do I have to let you out though?
You're getting.
Do I have to let you out? So let's just say
because you're going to want it both ways. But I think that's why if you have buyouts and say, all right, you're getting X amount of
so you're still going
to
transfer
contract,
every year.
But maybe it's different if schools.
So how would it look? Let's just say I'm giving somebody $50,000 a year, and they want to go to Baylor and make $150,000. What's the buyout?
$10,000-$15,000.
They're going to give me
something, whether it's them or the school that wants them.
But if they're making $150,000, it's probably. I mean, I don't know that I see the school paying buyouts for all these players.
You just have to start throwing stuff out there, going, all right, this every year is not good for anyone.
I agree with you.
Pro sports doesn't do this. So is this going to be the only model in the entire world that, oh yeah, you might have more money somewhere. It's not a guarantee in any of these deals to get the transport. But that's going to be the reason to keep the system the way it is, because maybe the one out of 2,500 players is going to be able to get a better deal each year.
Out of football the other day, we're at the scrimmage, and I was having conversations about this, with former coaches, and everybody's concerned about it. Because look, the football portal's opening up later here in a week and a half or something, right? Once spring practice is over, how many guys are going in the portal? And by the way, you're going to go in the portal and find players. You are. You're going to go find defensive linemen. You're going to go maybe find a quarterback. And you need them. So, all right, we got a pair of tickets to go see the Creed Summer of '99 tour with special guest Daughtry and Mammoth WVH. That's August 4th at Isleta Amphitheater. We'll do that at 8:25 this morning. 8:25 this morning. Give away a pair of tickets to go see the Creed Summer of '99 tour. Tax season is here. What's today? 7th? So you got about 8 more days to file your taxes. What are you going to do with your tax return? May I strongly suggest you call my friends at On the Spot Automotive Detailing. Take care of one of your biggest investments, and that is your vehicle. And if you look at what's going on in the economy right now, pretty good chance you're going to have that vehicle for a while. Protect that. They have paint protection film, ceramic coating. You can prevent those nasty scratches and stains and fading paint. Call On the Spot. They rewarded best in the city because they know what it takes to provide quality care for your vehicle. They'll protect your car. They'll come out and detail your vehicle, inside and outside. You want a new car? You can have that new car feel without that new car price. On the Spot will do that for you. They come to you and detail your vehicle at your convenience, where and when it works for you. You don't take it to them. You don't drop it off. You don't need a ride back. None of that mess. They come to you. You walk outside, and your car looks and feels and smells brand new. It's On the Spot Automotive Detailing. It's all online. You can book and buy on their website. It's otsdetailing.com. That would be otsdetailing.com.
I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor.
Who are you pulling for tonight? Houston, Florida. It's right here on the Sports Animal. NCAA men's basketball tournament comes to a close. You'll get one shining moment tonight. Florida, Houston. Eddie Nunez, the former athletic director at UNM, now the athletic director at Houston. Saw David Williams, deputy athletic director, former deputy athletic director, interim AD here on the floor after the game, hugging dudes. Texting with those guys. Eddie, I think Eddie sent me, probably meant for someone else. He asked if I want coffee this morning, JJ.
You're like, yes.
Yeah, a splash of cream. You coming by?
DoorDash it to us?
Yeah.
Some burritos?
I sent him a text. Congratulations. He said, no. He said, thanks. It was a great opportunity, time to enjoy, but seize the day. Do you want coffee? I'm like, yeah, I kind of do. Yeah, a little splash of
coffee burrito, just DoorDash it, bro.
Remember when he used to come by the studio? He would, every once in a while, hey, I'm in the neighborhood. You want me to come by? Yeah. Oop, that was me fumbling. All right. I didn't watch the game live, by the way. And I saw it yesterday. I watched it. I recorded the game, but because the first game went so long, the window ran out. So when I went back yesterday morning to watch it, it ended with about 12 minutes to go. But CBS Sportsnet does those tournament rewinds. So I got the whole game in the afternoon. I was at the theater. We were at Popejoy, Roger's birthday. My phone started going nuts. The second half of the play, my like, oh, it's unreal. It's crazy. And I'm like, what did I do? And then afterwards, like, we missed a classic. She's like, oh, sorry. Happy birthday.
How dare they have theater on the weekend.
Happy birthday. Went to that chocolate and coffee festival. Remember that was our sweet deal last Tuesday? Yeah, you do. Oh, were you not here Tuesday?
I wasn't here on Tuesday.
That was your field trip day. Coffee and chocolate fest out at the Manuel Lujan. Dude, I had no idea what I was like. Or what do you think? I mean, a hall full of, like, no.
Well, we know life's like a box of chocolates.
Dude, it was like fiery foods. It was that big. It was insane how many people were there. We went Sunday afternoon. It was all weekend. It was really fun. Put together a little care package for Addie to get, that we're going to send her for last month of her freshman year. But yeah, dude, that was another unbelievable event. I hope you took advantage of the sweet deal on that. It is also Masters Week, JJ. 96 players at the Masters. I'm interested to see the ratings this week. So you had Live in America. It was at Doral at Trump's course. You had Rahm and Koepka at the top of the leaderboard, and a PGA event that wasn't necessarily marquee dudes. And I wonder how the ratings are going to play out on that. Brian Harmon won the Valero Texas Open on the PGA side. But I'm going to be really, really interested to see how the ratings come out on Live versus PGA this week. Mark Leishman won, by the way. Beat Charles Schwartzel and Sergio. And Bryson was up at the top of the leaderboard. I mean, you had the names. Mickelson was near the top of the leaderboard. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. But big week, Masters week. Next week, not this coming Friday, but next Friday, we will start our weeklies with Nick Nee from the San Diego Golf Club, which is one of those things that people look forward to, I know. I'm going to give away a pair of tickets to go see the Creed Summer of 99 tour coming up in August. We'll do that at 8:25 this morning. Vladimir Guerrero, JJ, got paid. Like crazy. Paid crazy. Could you say $500 million guaranteed? 14 years, $500 million contract extension with the Toronto Blue Jays. Vlad Guerrero, 26 years old. 4-time All-Star. Daddy was a Hall of Famer. I guess if you were a Hall of Famer, you are a Hall of Famer. Said he wouldn't negotiate during the season. They didn't come to an agreement before the season started. I guess he negotiated.
Yeah, but when they're like, you know what? How about $500 million? I'm listening.
Third largest in Major League Baseball history, behind the 15. These are just bonkers. 15 years, 765 that Juan Soto got with the Mets, and Shohei 10 years, $700 million. I mean, 10 years, $700 million. $70 million a year, and that's all going to be deferred. Like, you think Bobby Bonilla Day is a big deal? Wait till it's Shohei Ohtani Day. Guerrero had the big season in 2021 when he finished second to Ohtani in the American League MVP voting. He had 48 home runs, 111 RBI that year. Then he followed that up with good, but not great. Like, I don't know. There's part of me. There's a big part of me who really feels they overpaid. But
I'm right there with you on this one.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
they're just chasing the name and a star for their franchise, but he's not a dude that at the caliber of Soto, surely not Shohei Ohtani, and you give him the third biggest contract.
14 years, $500 million. All right, the draft, NFL draft, is coming up here in a couple of weeks. Colorado had their pro day this weekend. Dion was certainly part of it. What he had to say, where you think Shador, Travis Hunter are going to go, we're going to get there. Want your thoughts on tonight, Houston and Florida, and Alex Ovechkin is now the all-time leading goal scorer in the history of the National Hockey League, breaking a record that many thought never would be touched. Opening drive is in your ear. He's JJ Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making
Animal. Now it's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Wait, Steph Curry only had 3 points last night? That's right. Houston, Florida tonight here on the Sports Animal. 6:50 is when they're planning on tip. It's your home for the national championship and the NCAA tournament and all that stuff. 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Happy Monday. Come on in today, 505-246-0610. That's where we are. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Comeback or collapse? What was that? Duke and Houston. Who you got tonight? You know, whichever way you want to go. All right, 505-246-0610. Couple things I want to hit on. The pro day at Colorado over the weekend. The NFL draft is coming up. And Colorado's got 2 of the best players in the draft. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
All right, one of the best players and one of the best quarterbacks. How about that? Which means they got 2 of the best players. Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter were among the 16 Colorado players who took part, showing off for the scouts on Saturday. Okay. Deion Sanders, of course, is the coach there. Deion said they should be going 1-2 in the draft. I appreciate you, Deion, and that's cool. He wanted to take over. It was interesting watching the whole thing. His quote, "It's tremendous. They should be going 1-2. That's the way I feel about it. They're the 2 best players in this draft. The surest bets in this draft are those 2 young men, and I didn't stutter or stammer when I said that. Look, man, I got no problem. Go to bat for your guys. And one of them happens to be your son, and the other one's a guy that's like your son. And I have no problem in Dion telling me that. The reality is they're probably going to go somewhere like 3-7 or 3-6 or something like that. Or Shedeur could slide, right? The Titans and Shedeur are canceling their workout. Tennessee basically is evaluated. They got what they want. They're taking Cam Ward, right?
That's the way it feels to me.
The quarterback from Miami.
Titans leaning Cam Ward over Shedeur Sanders for the number 1 overall pick. You can see why maybe they just feel there's a higher ceiling with physicality, the size of Ward. And when you have the Titans canceling a workout, I think that goes both ways. I think Shedeur is like, am I just going to be wasting my time to go do this personal workout if you're on Cam Ward? And that's the biggest question now is where does he slide? Is it change what we see with the Jets and Saints sitting there? All of a sudden, maybe they weren't thinking about looking at quarterbacks, why they gave Justin Fields $20 million to play a year in New York. The Saints, they have a lot of contract issues, but just be like, all right, we have Derek Carr here. Well, now those are teams I think are going to be looking differently at Shedeur Sanders over the next couple weeks.
I mean, you look at the top of the draft, and there's a lot of teams who need quarterbacks.
The Giants?
The Giants are sitting at 3. Every mock I see has Cam Ward 1, okay? I am struggling to find, and look, the mock drafts don't matter. I don't care if you're looking at Ryan Williamson or you're looking at Mel Kiper or whomever it is. I'm struggling finding a mock draft that has the Giants taking a quarterback. They signed Justin Fields, Tyrod Taylor, and they've got the young man from why am I forgetting his name?
Oh, the Jets you're talking about?
The Jets, yeah.
Because the Giants went Russell Wilson.
That's right. Yeah. But again, they went Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, right? It almost feels like, they've made up their mind. Here's my deal. If you don't think one of these guys is it, if you don't, I'll appreciate this. And time's going to tell. And I tell you every year, I feel like teams reach for quarterbacks. Now, we're coming off a year where 6 guys went in the first 12. And you haven't found me a bust yet, have you? I mean, of the 6 guys that went in the top 12, the only one we have no idea about is J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy, who was out all year with Minnesota. The guy who went after him, Bo Nix, was runner-up for Rookie of the Year. The guy who went right before him, Michael Penix, took over for a veteran, looked good. I mean, I don't want to say he was great.
Small sample size, but you're saying all these guys are trending up. There wasn't any of these guys where you're just like, oof. It's the way it should be. Like, you should get an opportunity. Like, the Bears kind of resetting in year 2, but knowing that they have an OC in, well, now a head coach, but Ben Johnson, what he was able to do with the Lions over the last few years, they're ecstatic. The reset with Drake May, which is fascinating to see that 2 of the top 3 quarterbacks selected already have completely different staffs in year 2.
Which is not make for great stability. It almost makes for a hiccup as you start the season, but the talent was there. You saw what, you're going to be fine with all that. So if you're sitting in a front office and whether, like, you look at the top of the draft, right? Tennessee, Will Levis probably isn't the guy, so they're going to go Cam Ward. There's Cleveland. Cleveland hadn't done anything. I mean, is their fallback Kirk Cousins? Is that what they're waiting for, Kirk Cousins to get released and they sign him? I believe that's probably
I don't think Kirk Cousins is getting released.
Then what are they going to do?
I think what Cleveland is doing right now is Jimmy Haslam has come out and said, yeah, we bungled it. We made a huge mistake with Sean Watson.
And he can't even play if you want him to play next year.
So with that, if you're Kevin Stefanski, if you're the general manager that have actually won awards, Coach of the Year, GM of the Year,
awesome.
Yes, it's important in what I'm getting to. is if Jimmy Haslam knows, hey, we messed up, but he trusts those guys, what you do is realize you take the best player available at 2, which is not going to be a quarterback.
Or it might be Travis Hunter. It might be
Abdul Carter.
Travis Hunter.
Right. Yeah. At 2. Knowing that there's a giant question at quarterback that might not get solved this year, but you got a player like that after signing Myles Garrett, potentially kick the tires on a Kirk Cousins trade. But you're able to do that if your owner says, all right, I understand what we did, and you're going to be here past this year.
So it's okay that we're going to suck this year offensively.
Yeah.
All right. What would you do if Abdul Carter is everything they say he is? You pair him with Myles. I got defensive player of the year on one side. I mean, do you go that way and just go, man, we got 2 beasts on the edge? Or do I get...
When you think about, all right, what are you doing in that division? Trying to run down Lamar Jackson and put Joe Burrow on his back.
And I got Myles Garrett and Abdul Carter? Or I got Myles Garrett. I got one of the best edge rushers. Now do I get one of the best? I believe Travis Hunter is going to be as good of a corner and a shutdown corner. Do I shut down one side? And just how often? And then have a third down receiver, by the way. Because I think he's going to play both ways, just limited packages in the National Football. Which way would you go? If you're not going quarterback, if that's your, I'm going, all right, I got Kenny Pickett, and then I'll find, it's not Trey Lance because he's signed with the Chargers. Which way do you go?
I think I'm going Carter.
See, I think I might go the other way. And I know edge rusher is so important, and it's, one of the top, right? It's quarterback, it's left tackle, it's edge rusher, right?
I think some of that, too, could be how do they feel about Denzel Ward? If he's kind of been there a little bit, good corner, had some injury trouble the last few years, so they feel, hey, let's get that shutdown piece that can play on both sides. And that would be really hard to pass up at 2, even though I just said Abdul Carter. But when you start, all right, this player versus that player, and knowing you're going to get more value out of Travis Hunter. Like, you should give him the opportunity to play
that's where I go.
Some offense.
Yeah, I think that's where I go because I've got Myles Garrett. If I don't have Myles Garrett, I'd probably go Abdul Carter because I need that edge rusher. And look, would I love that? It almost feels like luxury or necessity. And I hear you on Denzel Ward. You've got Martin Emerson on the other side, Cameron Mitchell. I hear you. I'd love bookend stud pass rushers. I would.
Get that.
I would.
Playmaker where let's use him on offense a little bit.
I think I go Travis Hunter at 2. If you're telling me I'm not, and again, I appreciate these teams who are saying, I don't think Shador is that, and I'm not going to reach. Because next is the Giants, and they're going to take whoever's left. The Giants have the easiest pick in the draft, right? If they're not going to take Shador, then they're going to take whatever's left, Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter. It's the easiest pick in the draft, right? And then the draft starts. And then is when it all gets started. Raiders are sitting at 6 because after that, it's New England's not going to take a quarterback. Now, somebody could always trade up, okay? New England's not taking a quarterback. Jacksonville's not taking a quarterback. The Raiders just signed Sam Darnold. I don't think they're taking a quarterback, right?
The Raiders, it's Ashton Genty.
I think. So they're not. So then it hits the Jets. Then it hits and again, somebody could always pop up. And the Jets are sitting there with that Justin Fields, Tyrod Taylor, what's the young man from Florida? From Florida State that was hurt?
Jordan Travis.
Who I'd love to see what they are. Like him and Hendon Hooker, the two guys that I want to see if someone's sitting with a wild card, right? The two guys that got hurt had spectacular college careers and then just got hurt at the end of their college career. If not, he goes to the Saints, doesn't he?
With the zero movement, it feels like that. We would pull the trigger.
And sits a year behind Derek Carr and plays for the Saints. All right. We're going to give away tickets coming up at 8:25 to go see Creed's Summer of '99 tour. It's August 4th out at the Isleta Amphitheater. We'll do that coming up at, what did I tell you, 8:25 this morning. 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Lobos have another player on their roster for basketball. There was a championship crowned over the weekend in Las Vegas in college basketball. We'll get there as well and get what you have to say at 505-246-0610. IPS is all around town. You see them everywhere you go. You go to Target, you go to the grocery store, you go, where did I see them? I saw them at the festival yesterday. I see them in my neighborhood. They protect my home. It's affordable private security. They protect what you have worked so hard to build. Property crime is real. Officer shortage continues to be an issue. IPS protects you. They've got officers strategically placed around Albuquerque, now in Santa Fe. They respond quickly. Often they catch criminals in the act, detain them until the police come and get them. IPS also provides standing guards. If you need eyes on your property around the clock, and they install alarms and camera systems, then they have the state-of-the-art facility monitoring those cameras 24/7. It all raises the level of security around your home and around your business. So, who's watching your home when you're not there? Make sure it's the good guys and not the bad guys, because a quick response to your alarm or standing guards at your business, it's what IPS does. You sleep better at night. 505-897-2420 is their number. Area code 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
All right, stand by for the tickets. We're going to give them away. 505-246-0610. Come on in today on a Monday. How was the weekend? What'd you do? Did you watch the hoops? Was it a comeback or was it a collapse? Houston and Duke. Chris Howell is now a Lobos 6'6" defensive star. Started 36 games for UC San Diego. Lobos have 3 players. Well, I guess with Duraje, they have 4, if you consider the walk-on. All right, 505-246-0610. Mike says, missed the Final Four for Popejoy, Jeff Alou? Boy, that sure doesn't sound like something you would do. What do you think about the new lack of Popejoy parking? I parked across the street. I don't deal with that parking structure when I go to Popejoy. I find a spot, off of Central or on Central somewhere and walk, because unwinding out of a parking structure after an event is one of my least favorite things to do, period. It just drives me bonkers. So no, I didn't. The parking was fine. Found a place to park and everything was good. Merry Monday, fellas. Man, oh man, what a great comeback and win for Houston over Duke for a college game. That was NBA-ish. Pretty exciting indeed. I had live golf in the final 4 games. So good. Thanks, Jeff and JJ. It's from John. All right. It's in on the text line, 505-246-0610. On the NFL text line, if I'm Cleveland, I don't see how I could pass on Abdul Carter. Myles Garrett gets doubled more than anyone in the NFL. If you could change that, it could be generational. Corner doesn't do that for your defense. It's a fair argument, man.
But it's not just a corner.
Yeah.
So it changes the debate.
Right. If it was just a corner, I think I'd live with what you're saying. He's a corner. He's a receiver. He's a returner. He's just different, man. I mean, Travis Hunter is just different. Tell me the last time you saw Travis Hunter come out. Was that Bo Jackson? I mean, who was the last guy that you were thinking you were going 2 ways with? Bo Jackson didn't go 2 ways. No. He played baseball. It was Dion, right?
Some Dion.
Who was the last guy you saw like this?
Desmond Howard?
Maybe.
A little bit.
He was small.
Nothing to where you were legitimately thinking at the NFL level using a player both ways.
Yeah. I'm not arguing vehemently with you on this one. I mean, look, Myles Garrett gets doubled a lot. Now you unleash both these guys, and you have something that, like you said, it could be generational. It could be. I don't think there's a wrong answer. Right? If you want to go Abdul Carter, I get it. I'm cool with that, actually. I would go the other way because I think Travis Hunter is that generational. I think he's different. I think, and you get a guy on both sides of the ball. You get a playmaker, probably can return kicks, right? A shutdown corner is so big in the NFL. But to your point, man, you're chasing down Lamar. You're putting pressure on Joe Burrow. Might have to go destroy Aaron Rodgers in that division. I don't know that I think there's a wrong answer. The wrong answer probably would be Shedeur Sanders, right?
I don't necessarily think it's the wrong answer.
So here's what I'm getting out of this. Who was number 2? It was Caleb Williams, then it was Jaden Daniels, right, last year? They went 1-2, and then Drake May went 3?
Yes.
what I'm getting out of this is Shedeur Sanders does not grade, obviously, as Jaden Daniels did. Like, do you think he's going to be as good as Jaden Daniels?
No.
You think he'll be as good as Drake May?
Yes.
Okay. He's and Drake May was probably overdrafted. I think a lot of people thought that, but it was a need-based thing last year.
I think Shedeur would be debated right in the mix of potentially, if you liked, the accuracy over some of the athletic traits of Drake May, but he'd be right there with Michael Penix, Bo Nix, and J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, that's probably right. And that's probably where he's going to go, right? Bo Nix went, 12th? McCarthy went 10th? I'm sorry.
Yeah. It was
9, 10, 12?
8, 10, 12.
8, 10, 12?
Like that,
yeah. That's probably right where he's going to go. All right, 505-246-0610. Other NFL stuff over the weekend. Julio Jones retired, which was okay. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't know that he was still playing. I didn't. Where did he play last year? Exactly.
I don't know if he was on a roster last year.
All right. So now he's officially retired. How about Trey Lance getting what did he get, $6.2 million with the Chargers? That
good on you, young man.
100% good on you. He'll go back up Justin Herbert. Taylor Heineke is also in L.A. with the Chargers. I was surprised. I'm not surprised that he got a job. I was surprised he got $6.2 million to get a job. Weren't you?
Yes.
Is this Jim Harbaugh just saying there's got to be still something there in that young man? Or
you don't, even if you think that, you don't want to find it out.
Right, because he's playing behind
Justin Herbert.
Right. Yeah, that was the one that over the weekend I'm like, huh, all right. And then you had a championship in college basketball. So tonight you get Florida and you get Houston right here on the Sports Animal. The Crown, did you watch a lot of The Crown? I watched a little bit more of it as it got later, yeah. Nebraska beat UCF, Central Florida, 77-66, title game of the inaugural Crown basketball, or college basketball Crown. It was in Las Vegas. So Nebraska goes 21-14. They received $300,000 NIL. Is that more? So they got more each round, right? 300 on top of the 50 they got before on top, right? Or is it total? I'm not sure I know the answer either. I know they got $300,000 for winning the CBC. Central Florida got $100,000. Villanova and Boise State each got a prize purse of $50,000. So they split that up, right? You each get like $8,000 or $6,000.
I believe that's the way it works. You don't get
each round.
It's where you ultimately
where you finish. Okay, so $300,000 for Nebraska to split, which is pretty good, right?
Yeah, and I think this model, as long as they can fund it, who's ever putting on the tournament,
which was Fox, wasn't it?
Can work because even you got teams playing hard, and when everyone is jumping in the portal, you're getting to the Elite Eight, Final Four. You still had teams going at it in the Crown, and as long as there's money to be paid out, I do think it's a tournament that's going to work.
Yeah, UCF went through Oregon State, Cincinnati, and Villanova to get there. The Knights played without one of their best players, Keyshawn Hall. He went in the portal, went to Auburn right after, so he missed out on all that money. Boise State got beat by Nebraska in the semifinal, by the way. 79-69 was the final there. And Nebraska was just better than them. I did watch some of that game on Saturday, and I just watched that game, and I just thought, well, all right, Nebraska, the Big Ten team was honestly just better. I didn't think Boise State was tired. I didn't think they were off. I just, one of those games where I watched, I'm like, Nebraska's better than them. Did you get that feel?
Yeah, it's the Nebraska team that collapsed at the end of the season, but looked like the squad that up until the final 2 to 3 weeks was in bubble contention.
The best game of that tournament ran into the NCAA. It was that UCF Villanova semifinal on Saturday, which I got to believe people, I flipped over during commercials. I'm like, oh, this game's, wow, it's really good. But it was going on during the Florida Auburn game on Saturday, and it just ran into it. I got to believe people are, okay. I mean, the Crown is nice and it's good. I'm watching the NCAA. Like I'm watching the big boys go. All right, we got tickets to give away. 505-246-0610. Creed's Summer of '99 tour with special guests Daughtry and Mammoth WVH. It's August 4th at Isleta Amphitheater. You can win a pair of tickets right now if you're caller number 3. That's area code 505-246-0610. That's how to get here. 505-246-0610. Caller 3, you win, courtesy of your good friend JJ Buck at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant.
One of the records in sports that people thought was untouchable has been touched, has been grabbed, has been broken, has been reset. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Every sport's got its holy grail, right? Maybe that's not even right. Like, what would be the holy grail record in the National Football League? Is there a number? Is there a record that you consider? Oh, that is it. I'm not sure there is. Is it touchdowns? That Jerry Rice, I believe, has the most receiving touchdowns? Is it touchdowns scored? Is it you know what it is? It's Super Bowl rings. It's Tom Brady, right? Baseball, it was the home run record. I guess in basketball it was most points scored, right? Certainly in hockey, it now maybe the holy grail is points. Alex Ovechkin is now the leading goal scorer in the history of the National Hockey League. Wayne Gretzky is still the leader in most points. That's because the way they do that in hockey, it's assists and goals. JJ, what's the sexier record, the all-time goal-scoring king or points in hockey?
I think it's goal scoring, but
I think that's right.
A level that Wayne Gretzky attained that even though Alex Ovechkin passed him, he's still not on Wayne Gretzky's level.
Wayne Gretzky sits alone, probably, and maybe
Wayne Gretzky. So points, it's different than goals scored, but it's when you tally it together, assists and goals. Wayne Gretzky had 2,857 points in his career.
2,857.
Number 2 is Jaromir Jagr, who played until he was like 57 years old, and he only had 1,921 points.
That's 900 less. Where's Ovi at?
Ovi's done a good job. because he scores goals like crazy. But he's at 1,619 points, and he's at the end.
So that is more than 1,200 points behind Gretzky. However, his 895th goal on Sunday passed Wayne Gretzky, the all-time leading scorer in the National Hockey League. Gretzky was there. Gretzky was in attendance and said, they say records are made to be broken, but I'm not sure who's going to get more goals than that. And I think that's what they said when he broke the record. I thought Wayne has handled this insanely well, which is surprise to nobody because Wayne Gretzky, throughout everything he's ever done, feels like he's been pretty much class. If you're old enough to remember Wayne Gretzky playing, there was nothing like Wayne Gretzky. You can tell me Sidney Crosby, you can tell me Jaromir Jagr, you can tell me Mario Lemieux, you can tell me Ovi. There was nothing like Wayne Gretzky. And this isn't a Michael Jordan, I'm not, from that era. I think even people from this era, because of what you just said, the discrepancy in scoring, in points, not just goals, in points. It's goals and assists. The Gretzky's at 28.57 and Ovi's at 16.19, which is 1,238 goals difference. Or I'm sorry, points difference. Puts Gretzky at a different level. But that does not diminish what Ovi did. And I thought the NHL, and this is great for hockey going into the playoffs, right? It put them on World News Tonight and Evening News and all your news outlets. It put the National Hockey League there as they're getting set with like 3 games left in the regular season to go into the playoffs. I think it gives them great momentum. Now we'll see what it does for them. Plus ESPN's running them, so they promote the hell out of them. But I thought it was handled well by the National Hockey League. I thought it was marketed well. Great chase, GR8, because Ovi wears 8. And Gretzky's nickname is the Great One. I thought, it seems so easy, but somebody came up with GR8, Great Chase, Great One, number 8. I thought everything about this was handled really, really, really classy.
And it's special because it's a record broken in the same amount of time.
Yeah.
And a lot of times
Exactly
if someone breaks a
games,
record
yeah.
and you're like, well, we had like an extra 4 or 5 years. It's a little bit different. Okay, congratulations, but you played forever. No, it's the exact same amount of games, and it's +1 for Ovechkin, which is wild. And a credit to Alexander Ovechkin for being the best goal scorer of all time, but the consistency too of his career of 20 years in the NHL. And I think also what makes it a little bit easier for Wayne Gretzky, like you said, character-wise, outside looking in, he is one of the best athletes ever in sport. But, yeah, he got passed, but he's still on a shelf by himself. So when he's taking the photos with Ovechkin and congratulating him and being the person you'd expect, they're still just getting there going, that's cool, I might not have the goals record, but I'm still the best person to ever do it. So.
He is.
Congratulations.
He just is. You look at some of the numbers, like Gretzky had 5 60-goal seasons. Ovi had 1. They both had 9 50-goal seasons. Ovi had 14 40-goal seasons to Gretzky's 2. You just look how good they were. Gretzky had 92 goals in the 81-82 season. 92 goals. The most Ovi ever had in one season was 65.
Are the goalies wearing masks yet?
Yes.
So they wanted to get in front of the puck.
Yes, they were wearing masks back in his time. They even had color TV back then, dude. It was amazing. Airplanes and everything. They didn't travel from Edmonton to they didn't have to go to Florida, but they had to go to LA. They didn't go by stagecoach. Like they had an airplane. It was crazy. I thought it was great. And I know, most of you aren't watching a bunch of hockey. I watched a bunch of hockey over the last couple of days, by the way, and it's been like, it's got me ready. Because I do gear up on it in the playoffs. And it's terrific. All right, 505-246-0610. Steph Curry had a night last night that you don't ever see. NBA season is coming to a close. Where we are today in the standings, and a big win for the Lakers last night over the number one team in the West. What does that all mean? It's the opening drive. JJ Buck, I'm Jeff Symbieta on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.
That's how close this is, and the Warriors are on the cusp of the play-in again after getting beat last night by the Rockets 106-96. Steph Curry last night scored just 3 points in a game. Steph Curry did. It happens to everybody, man. Oh, he's done, dude. He's washed up. He's 37. Steph Curry scored the fewest points he's scored in an NBA game in which he's played at least 30 minutes. He was 1 for 10. The one shot he made was from 37 feet just before the halftime buzzer. They get beat 106-96 by the Rockets. So the Rockets are solid in number 2. Oklahoma City's going to be 1. The Lakers beat Oklahoma City last night. It was a big game for LA. 126-99. They pumped them. Lakers are a game and a half clear of Denver for the 3 spot. Denver and the Clippers are 4-5. But you've got the Nuggets, the Clippers, the Warriors, the Timberwolves, and the Grizzlies. That is 5 teams. JJ, they're separated by a half game right now. A half game. And look out for the freaking Clippers right now. And again, 4-5 against the Nuggets. Who you got, Clippers or Nuggets right now? If
Clippers.
Jamal Murray doesn't play?
Clippers.
And the report this morning is Jamal Murray may be more hurt than they're letting on, and you may not get any Jamal Murray.
They got a championship, but they have to eat it next year and make one last run with Jokic over the next few years.
Jamal Murray with the hamstring. Michael Malone, their head coach, said, quote, hopefully he's able to be back by the playoffs. This has been a weird one. It was day to day, and then the next thing you know, it's not day to day. I don't know if they can win a playoff series without Jamal Murray. I love Nikola Jokic. Everybody does.
Yeah, Jokic is awesome. They're not a good team around him. Defensively, they're poor and making mistakes. You saw at the end of that 61-point double overtime game, Russell Westbrook fouled the three-point shooter, and they lost the game.
Malone was asked, are you holding out Jamal Murray out of an abundance of caution? And Malone said, no. Quote, Jamal's hurt. It's not careful. He's hurt. So there's a big difference. Careful is if a guy can play and you want to be smart. We're not in a situation to do that. There are 6 teams vying for 4 spots. So if Jamal Murray is not out there, it's not careful. It's because he literally just is not able to play at the moment, end quote. But in a week and a half, he will be. Maybe. Again, 3 through 8. 3 through 8. That's the Lakers all the way down to the Grizzlies, separated by 2 games. But if you say 4 through 8, 4, so it's the Nuggets, Clippers, Warriors, Minnesota, and Memphis. That is 5 teams separated by a half game. 2 of them will end up above the play-in line. I'm sorry, 3 will. 3 will. This is how tight it is, man. The NBA, so now, honestly, the playoffs kind of start now. Then you get something every night. I mean, maybe not tonight as much. But, I mean, Tuesday, big games. Lakers and Thunder again. Warriors, Suns, Spurs, Clippers. Grizzlies are right in the middle of it, too. All right, 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Who you got tonight? Florida, Houston. It's time for you to get in. Who you got, and was it more collapse or more comeback in the Duke-Houston game on Saturday? It's the opening drive. He's JJ Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta. Thank you for being with us this morning and every morning on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
.org.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies. past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Cross-Camara here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Murcia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to
9.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
It is time to cut down the nets. One shining moment. Dun, 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 dun. Do you know the words?
Do you know
what?
The Lobos actually won an NCAA tournament game this year?
I
They
do.
played in this tournament.
So they'll
even though
be
it
in
feels
one,
like the world has ended.
So they will be in one shining moment. You will probably see former Lobo Donovan Dent smiling in one shining moment.
Is this the, I want to say worst, the oddest NCAA tournament win and run ever for Lobo basketball, just because coach and team then
the whole
said
thing
peace
blew up.
out and doesn't feel like the Lobos participated in this tournament, won a game in this tournament,
it's
battled
weird.
Michigan State in this tournament?
Yeah, it's weird. It really, it's really weird. It's really weird. But yeah, it happened. All right, we haven't got into this, and there has been so much chatter and so much unverified. Like I tell you, be careful on the social media because everybody with a thumb,
it's insane,
has an opinion. So there's a couple of things that are going to happen in college sports this week. Maybe. One, we're expecting something with the House settlement this week, right?
That is expected to go down today.
Today's the 7th, yes.
Is it San Francisco courtroom? Some
Yeah.
courtroom in California. It's pretty much merging 3 different lawsuits into one
Right.
settlement.
Right. All right. So that'll be a big part of the NIL, but the revenue sharing, and how to institutions go forward. Now there may be appeals on that. We'll see. we also, if you listen to reports, might be close to getting an idea on what the Pac-12, but what their media rights deal is going to be worth. And all of you have seen it, if you're on the social media, the Pac-12 still only has 7 full-time members. They need 8 to be a viable conference in Football Bowl subdivision, FBS. They have 8 members with Gonzaga, but Gonzaga does not play football. So they are Washington State and Oregon State, San Diego State, Boise State, Colorado State, Utah State, and Fresno State. There was a report, now I didn't see it verified anywhere, over the weekend, and I've been telling you, I think Texas State's the one, right? That's where they're going. That Texas State was offered half a share and turned it down. I don't know if that's true or not. There's so much stuff out there. And I know you've seen this floated around a lot, JJ, that there's been talk with New Mexico State, right? Now, New Mexico State was not invited to the Mountain West. And there was a bunch of people who were saying New Mexico was keeping New Mexico State out. This was back in like October, November, when there was that expansion talk. And I talked to the Mountain West people about where New Mexico State was. That was when Mario was still the athletic director. And there was a big resource issue I was told flat out by 3 athletic directors and people at the conference office that is just flat out not true. That New Mexico was not keeping New Mexico State out. That if UNLV and Air Force and whomever said, hey, we want New Mexico State, that New Mexico and their interim athletic director at the time did not pound the table and say, no, we're keeping them out.
Of course they did. New Mexico State fans will tell you that.
There's been all this chatter on your social media about New Mexico State and the Pac. I will tell you, I've been able to verify none of that. I've got nothing, and I've made some calls and I've talked to people that would know, who would know. JJ, that doesn't mean it's not true. But I mean, I told you the people with whom I've spoken. It feels that they would know, and I do feel that those people would share that with me if they knew.
Yeah, there's a lot when it comes to the conference stuff that I get it. It's talking heads, it's podcasters that are acting like they're in the know with a lot of this stuff, and it gets people going on social media. It's just the perfect sports fan clickbait on X. It's saying you know something about a Pac-12 media deal and or who the Pac-12 is talking to. And that definitely got going. There was a lot of reaction. I know I saw Lobo fans reacting to it like, there's no way this can be true. What a failure from everyone. New Mexico State over us. Like, it's...
I mean...
Like, slow down. It's... Every podcaster is not connected. We're all opinionators. Doesn't mean that you throw something out there, that's what's happening. But that's the way it is with any Pac-12 news. People are hungry for it. And if this is... If this is where the Pac-12 is, then you cannot convince me that they have taken a step forward if they're begging teams to come to their league and not giving them shares just so they can have a league.
Well, I think I asked you off the air, what would you feel is more potentially likely? New Mexico State joining the Pac, or the Pac and the Mountain West somehow figuring out a way to merge?
I think if it got to that point where the Pac is desperate for teams and like, we'll come
and
in,
you're
but
saying
we're not...
desperate would be New Mexico State?
Yes. A team that couldn't have the resources to make the jump to the Mountain West Conference, and now the Pac-12 is going to go, Pac whatever you want to call them, is going to go to them and be like, well, come save us. We just need a team. So here's 13 cents on the dollar to join our conference. I think at that point in time, you have to take a step back and go, okay, there's been a lot of announced things, and I'm sure papers have been signed, but what do we do to make this make sense on the West Coast?
So I'm seeing numbers between $7 and $12 million per year for Pac-12 schools in a new media rights deals. And it's compared with $30 million that the old Pac-12 was getting and then turned down from ESPN. Remember? Mountain West, about $3.5 million per year. Listen, Aggie fan, I don't want you to get upset when JJ says you'd be desperate if you're going to New Mexico State. Here's what I understand on the New Mexico State thing. They were about, to get into the Mountain West or to be considered for Mountain West, I do know that the Mountain West spoke with New Mexico State back in the fall. And the way I understand it is New Mexico State was going to have to find a way, resource-wise, to come up with about another $10 million annually in their athletic department budget to compete in the Mountain West with schools who are going forward in the way the Mountain West is apparently going to be comprised moving forward. To get into the Pac-12, they probably, and I was told this weekend, that they would probably then have to come up with another $20 million, not $10 million, but then $20 million to get in the Pac. And that's why people in the know told me, I just don't know that I think it's credible, because just financially, where they find another $20 million annually. So that's where that plays. And I know there was just a bunch of chatter, and you're seeing it, and I just don't know where it's going. But be careful what you listen to. And look, if it happens, I mean, awesome for New Mexico State.
Take it and run.
If it happens, if these reports are true and Texas State says no or whatever, and the Pac needs an eighth team to survive, and they go to New Mexico State, like, God bless you and take it, and awesome for you. I tried to get some validation or verification on it over the weekend, and I was unable to get anybody to give me anything even close to solid that that's where this is going. Now, again, that doesn't mean it's not happening. I just was unable to get with anybody that said, hey, yeah, this is actually real.
And what you see, it's conversation, it's opinion. It's a lot of people posting, oh, this is what I think the next teams in line are. And then people take those conversations and think they're serious.
But I don't know if that's any more serious than the people who are still holding out Memphis, Tulane, USF.
It's the same style of stuff. It's a lot of opinions of this, that, or the other, which, it's conversation. It's what we're doing. It's what happens on social media. But fan bases then take that and run like it's a serious report on something.
Well, you sit there from your perspective and, well, why wouldn't Tulane come to us? Why, if you're a San Diego State or Boise State fan and you got thumbs, your perspective is, why wouldn't Memphis State? Well, I mean, Texas State, absolutely, they better come to us. And USF, I mean, absolutely they should come here because it's better than, is it better than the American? I mean, I don't know. Are your brands that much better than the American? But they've got Memphis and Tulane right now. And, I mean, are you getting any more money? I mean, really, when it comes down to it, are you getting more money? Here's what the American is. Memphis, North Texas, UAB, Tulane, FAU, East Carolina, Temple, Wichita State, who doesn't play football, South Florida, Tulsa, UTSA, Rice, and Charlotte. Now, you're sitting there going, if you're San Diego State and Boise State, we're way better than that. I mean, absolutely, look at the brands we got. Okay. I mean, I don't know, is Boise State a better brand overall than Memphis?
They're very close.
May be a better football brand, but is it a better athletic brand? Memphis is a better basketball brand. Yeah. That's not arguable. Memphis is a good football brand. Is San Diego State, who's the next best brand in the Pac? Is it Washington State? Is it, or I don't, well, all right, how about this? Who is the best brand, athletic brand in the Pac? It might be Gonzaga,
and they don't play football.
Yeah. All right. So it's Gonzaga and they don't play football. So who's the best football brand? Is it Boise State? Is it Washington State?
I think it's Boise State over Washington.
All right. Who's the next best brand? Is it Washington State?
I'd say yes.
It's better than San Diego State, right? Washington State had Drew Bledsoe, and they had Ryan Leaf, and they've had some success, and Mike Leach. All right, that's probably right. Is Washington State better than any of those other brands in the American? Yeah, probably. Yeah. Because I don't know what the next best football brand in the American is. All right, I'm listening to you. But if the money's not there, the money's not there. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
If the money's not there, it just doesn't freaking matter. And by every report, the money's not there. So, all right, 505-246-0610. If you want to get into that, you can. I like. There's been a lot there, right? There's been a lot of talk about that. Aggie fan, if you've heard something that I haven't, I'm listening too. I absolutely listen to what you've heard. If it's more than just I saw it on Twitter, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if I saw it too, but I need a little validity, and I've talked to people that would know, that should know, that I do believe would share some info with me. And again, just because I haven't heard it doesn't mean it's not happening. So I'm not going to tell you absolutely not. I just got nothing that says, yeah, this may go. Now, to your point, if the Pac-12 gets to a point, and we're getting about close, where teams are going to have to give their former league a 1 year.
Reports do I have to see that? Oh, coming this week, we're going to know. Coming this week, we're going to know the media rights deal. Are we?
Here's the deal on the reverse merger, or on a merger. Okay, and I saw, well, here's they're going to merge, and there's two divisions. The Mountain West is added, and that means these schools have told their former conferences they're leaving. Hawaii and UTEP as full-time. Grand Canyon as non-football. Northern Illinois as football. Am I missing somebody? Is it just those four? And the Pac has added Gonzaga.
UC Davis.
And UC Davis.
Northern Illinois.
So there's 6 institutions. There's UC Davis, Northern Illinois, Grand Canyon, UTEP, Hawaii, and Gonzaga, who have all committed since. Now, can you merge all that together? I guess you can have a 16-team league.
Don't think you'd want to.
Well, I mean, SEC, Big 12, they're all...
Sure, but you're not getting numbers that are going to be worth it to anyone.
Or would it be? And then, can you tell Northern Illinois, hey, just kidding, go back? Oh, you can't go back? Sorry. Can you tell Hawaii? Yeah.
Yes, you can, but it's going to
cost you.
Buy out portions of contracts. The schools have made decisions to make jumps here, there, wherever, and just because a decision has been made does not mean that's a final decision, as we've seen.
All right, 505-246-0610. That's the latest. I just got a text, and I don't know if this is true. No ruling expected today in the House settlement case, unfortunately. Supposed to come, quote, in the coming weeks after the hearing today. Okay. All right. Hey, we're going to watch the hoops and the golf this week. Twin Peaks has you covered. If you can't make it to Augusta, and, well, who can? Golf's first major, the Masters, will be on wall-to-wall TVs at Twin Peaks. April 10 through 13, that's this week. Enjoy the Tito's Transfusion cocktail for just $8.50 all day. Catch all of the Masters action at Twin Peaks and get ready for the NBA playoffs. That starts next week. Twin Peaks is the best place for all things hoops, including tonight's championship game. Head on down to Twin Peaks, catch all the NBA action while you enjoy delicious food and drinks. And every Tuesday at Twin Peaks, for a limited time, they're offering the BOGO deal. You buy 6 bone-in wings, you get 6 more free. Choose from a variety of sauces, including their delicious smoky sweet barbecue. Or, if you like the spice, try the pineapple habanero. Pair that with a nice brew. You got yourself an enjoyable Tuesday. Head on over to Twin Peaks this Tuesday. Take advantage of their buy one, get one special before it's gone.
You're listening to The Jim Rome Show.
What is...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride barbecue chicken and ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Everguard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. International.
All right, no ruling expected today in the House settlement, according to the text line. Text line says, I love that Duke lost because they were the only team that didn't go on the Jim Rome show. Didn't know that, but all right, that serves them. Text line says, made me laugh today, color TV and airplanes, Robert. Yeah, that back in the day. Text line from a November 1, 2024. So this is now... what, December, January, February, March, April, 5+ months ago. It says from a November 1, 2024 Sports Illustrated article, quote, so far the Pac-12 has been unsuccessful in coaxing New Mexico away from the Mountain West, but what's to say it can't look 200 some miles down south and try to steal away New Mexico State, end quote. I don't recall New Mexico ever being considered for the Pac, do you? I don't, but again, none of us were privy to all the conversations. I know New Mexico was interested in the Pac when the split happened. I think most of you, if you were honest, as much as you say bleep the Pac right now, if you had your choice, I think you would rather compete with those schools than the schools that are left in the Mountain West, correct?
Yes.
But right now, man, everybody looks like this thing was so botched. And I know that there's San Diego State and Boise State and Colorado State and Fresno State fans who are, and Utah State fans, just you're so damn lucky you're along for the ride. But who are going, yeah, it's going to be fine. We're going to be fine. We don't have to go to Wyoming. We don't have to go to New Mexico. We got rid of San Jose State. Okay. And somehow they feel that they've got this thing figured out and they're better off. Okay, maybe. But as of now, nobody is taken their offer. There was a report. Now, again, I don't know if it's true as far as Texas State being offered a half share this weekend. But again, I don't know. Texas State and the Pac-12, maybe. I mean, that's where it feels like it's going. But JJ, we're coming up to a point where whoever's going to join the Pac in 2026 is going to have to give their 12-month out here in a few months. And we keep hearing, there's plenty of time. There's plenty of time. Is there? We're starting to run out of time. There's still time. There's a podcast that talked about Memphis and Tulane and USF and Texas State. Could Texas State be the next big move? All right, maybe. But we'll see. We'll see. It feels like something's got to happen. John Canzano covers the Pac-12 pretty well. And, there's a whole lot of Texas State talk there. But Aggie fan, if this falls in your lap, take it and run and figure out how to make it work. I don't know that it will. I don't know that there's validity to all that. But if it does, good for you, man. Good for you. And make it work. That's all. All right, 505-246-0610. Emails jeff@sportsanimалabq.com. jj@sportsanimalabq.com. All right, who do you like tonight? You got Florida? You like Houston?
I'm going to pick Florida, and then we're going to see Houston somehow, some way win the game at the end.
Houston is so gritty. They're a bunch of dogs. They play defense. What wins championships? What's the cliche?
Defense.
And it's a cliche because most cliches are made out of fact, right? Most cliches are born in fact. Houston plays defense like nobody in this tournament. And that's saying something because I think a lot of teams play defense. And Florida does too. I think the question is, can Houston score enough to win the game? And that kind of was the question against Duke the other day. And it was the question as you sat there and you were 32 minutes into the game against Duke the other day and they were sitting at 40-something. And then they figured out how to score. Do you know what the spread is tonight?
Yes.
I don't. What is it?
Well,
Florida by 1.5.
Yeah, the notes, it was 1.5.
Yeah, it's still a 1.5. I had Florida cutting down the nets when we started. I'm going to stay with Florida. But, Kenny Thomas hit me the other night after the game. He says, they're going to win it all. I told you. It won't stun me. Houston is...
Who's going to win it all?
Houston. Yeah, he had Houston. I love both the paths. I love that Florida had to overcome that 10-point deficit against Texas Tech in the Elite Eight. I love that Houston had to have that unbelievable inbounds play. Who is that against? Is that Michigan State? No, they didn't play Michigan State. Who'd they play?
Well, the Gonzaga was their second
round
game. When was it?
I got
Purdue.
Yeah, the Purdue game. I love both these stories. I think I'm going to stay with Florida. I think that's where I'm going to stay. 235-4 teams. I think we get a stellar game tonight, don't you? I think we get...
You have Walter Clayton Jr. that's having a Kimball Walker like tournament where if Florida wins, it's going to be, well, did you see what Walter Clayton did?
Yeah.
Back-to-back 30-point games in Elite Eight Final Four. No one's done that since Larry Bird in the NCAA tournament. He's pretty good.
They have planes and color TV back then?
I'm not sure about the color TV, but
but they had
might have had
they had
prop
airplanes.
planes.
Yeah. Have you watched any of the Celtics? It's called Celtics, whatever the HBO Max series on the Celtics that Bill Simmons put together.
No,
it's really good. Look, I'm not a Celtics guy, but I love.
Is it a documentary?
It is. Okay. It is, and it's like a 6-part or whatever it is. It's so damn good, dude.
I'll watch it. Some of these things I feel like I know so much about it already.
Yeah, but then you start you listen to Bill Walton talk about it, and he's since deceased. You listen to Robert Parrish go deep into it, and you just listen to the perspectives of the guys who were there and some of the footage that they've got. And as much as I thought I knew,
you learned a lot more.
I learned a lot more. And anybody who
Celtics propaganda.
Well, let me give you this too. You know what these things are really good for? Any of you who are not old enough to have seen Larry Bird and or Magic Johnson play for that matter, but Larry Bird specifically, and you look at him currently and go, there's no way that dude was that good.
Absolutely was.
Go ahead and watch this stuff. It's not just highlights. It was every day, dude. Larry Bird was every bit that good. And every time I watch one of these documentaries from that era, I'm reminded how damn good they were. And you see us, a Larry Bird in his mid-60s now, and you're like, come on now. That dude's one of the best players ever? Yeah. And go watch how as good a passer as there's ever been, and Magic was right there with him. The clutch shots he hits, the off-balance athletic crap that he pulled. Like the appreciation, because it is, right? Era's gone by, and whatever. Those guys couldn't play now. I hear that all the time. Go back and watch some of that.
Everyone, the best players of every era could play. Larry Bird would beat LeBron James. LeBron James would beat Larry Bird. That would happen. Best players, match up against each other.
Yeah, it's really, really well done. And again, like I said, I'm not a Celtics guy, but I really, really enjoyed watching that as well. All right, 505-246-0610. Make your call on tonight. It is Florida and it is Houston. It is right here on the Sports Animal. Who do you have? And does the commish want it? The Lions are proposing different playoff seating based on record, regardless of division championship. But what? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 670 Sports Animal.
The 2025
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will.
I like the head nod. You didn't even have to say anything. Yeah, what's up? 505-246-0610. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Come on in. And who you got tonight? It is Florida, and it is Houston. You're rooting for, is there any, the local tie would be, if you were an Eddie Nunez and David Williams fan, the athletic director, deputy athletic director at Houston, or the former athletic director and deputy athletic director at UNM. If that's true, did you see David Williams on the court afterwards hugging dudes? Did you see him?
Yeah, that's probably why he's not answering my emails.
You know, he sent me a text back. He said it was like a dream come true being on the court. Like he was stoked. Hoser, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up, Josue?
What's up? David Williams, he had the same smile he had when we were charging the field on that Washington State game.
Yeah, you saw that, huh?
Yeah, I'm happy for him. And also, Nunez was sitting in that same seat in the first half. So, for those reasons, I'm rooting for Houston. And I think Saturday night, I think Houston had a comeback. I don't think Duke had a collapse.
You don't
because
think at
I think
all?
they were still trying to make plays. I think the Houston defense just altered what they were trying to do.
Right.
What do you think?
I think it was 70-30 collapse. I thought missed free throws. I thought, yes, Houston's defense forced
the
it.
free throws is just pressure, man. It's just
All
like,
right.
hey,
Isn't that part
you
of
gotta make
collapse?
the play.
Isn't that part of collapse?
Well, I don't know if it's collapse or not. I mean, the guy that was put on the line, he was the lowest percentage field goal
free throw
or free throw maker,
65.7%. Yeah.
Yeah, to me, I think they were just there. It just wasn't falling. I mean, it wasn't like they were throwing up bad shots. The only bad shot was the last one, at the buzzer. But
well, that was such.
They
had 3.5 seconds.
They were just that defense.
Why throw the as JJ? Why throw the football pass? Do you like that better? Why throw that baseball pass down there with 3.5 seconds to go instead of?
I don't like that at all. I don't know
hated
why they
that.
don't get someone crawling off a screen
on the run.
I don't understand that.
You had them going both ways, and you could have run the baseline. Josue, here's why I think it was 70-30. I thought, and this is 100% credit to Houston because they created that pressure, and they stole the ball, and they made shots, and they did everything right down the stretch. I thought Duke looked so disheveled and out of sorts trying to inbound the ball, and 100% because of Houston's defense. But you've got to have something in that situation to get the ball in bounds. You just have to.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, I can see where you're coming from, but for me, I just thought that Houston just really turned it on, and really the whole game kind of held Duke to under 70, and I was surprised about that. So for that, I think tonight, just the defensive part of Houston, I think is going to be key for them hopefully getting Sampson his first national title, and Nunez and Williams, I'd be pumped for them. I mean, it's good for them. And here's my theory on Nunez. I think if he could have got this Pac-12 thing, and not just him personally, but I think if it would have worked out, I think he'd still be here. I think when he realized that that's not going to happen, and then the Houston job came up, and then to be part of the Big 12, I think that was a big decision maker in him moving on. But man, cool dude though. I appreciated him.
All right, see you. Thanks, man. Eddie was making, I think, $435 here. He's making over $1 million there. I think he was still gone. Yeah, I just that's how it was. 505-246-0610. Text line says Houston 71, Gators 65. I love the way Kelvin Sampson coaches. So do I. I love the fact that he pulled a Rick Pitino style comeback. Got in a lot of trouble, got suspended from NCAA basketball for 5 years, comes back. He's on the verge of winning a natty. Remember, he got in trouble for calling recruits. I know there's rules that govern, but that's kind of silly, especially what's going on in college athletics today. How far college athletics has come. Okay. This one says 70% Duke collapse, 30% Houston comeback. That's where I am. I hate it because I don't want to take any credit away from Houston. And JJ, this one on the Bird thing, and bear with me because you're going to cringe for a second. On YouTube, they have a show of mostly black guys who do a show who watch and critique players from bygone eras. Upon watching highlights of Larry Bird, they couldn't believe it. They were dumbfounded at how good Bird was. They didn't call him Larry Legend for nothing. Most common comment, quote, "That white boy can play," end quote. And you hear it all the time, and it's in there. I mean, it's in the documentary a lot. And race was a big piece of that documentary and of that time and in that town. Absolutely. So, all right, 505-246-0610. Marty, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up, Marty?
Hey, guys. I thought that was a wow moment opportunity for Cooper Flagg. I'm not going to pull out the anointment oil. And the only reason I say that, there hasn't really been a transformational global star from the U.S. since LeBron. Steph, nobody knew he was going to be that good, so I can't really say that nobody knew. So I can't say Steph because he came out of nowhere. He changed the game. So obviously he's a transformational type of player, but nobody knew out of college, right? LeBron, you knew out of high school. Kobe, you knew. Shaq, you knew. I just think we're missing that, right? You look at all the best players now in the world, they're all from other countries. So I'm still waiting for that kid. I don't think it's Cooper Flagg.
Why not?
I think there's a lot of hype there. but that was his opportunity. That was his chance right there. Make that bucket,
yep.
right? I remember MJ made that as a freshman.
He did.
So I'm gonna lay that out. I like Florida big tonight. I think if Duke and Houston play 5 times, Duke wins 4 times. So I do agree with you, Jeff, that was a bit of a collapse there. Because the better team to me looked like Duke, but it's all about runs, right? So if you have a bad stretch there and all of a sudden the other team comes or you know what, you're down, you don't have an answer, but that's probably what happened. But I like Florida big tonight. I'm going to say double digits. But just some food for thought. I really have not seen that play. I know there's been,
Well, it was going to be Zion. It was going to be Zion, and then Zion couldn't stay healthy.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
All right, man. Thanks, Marty.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting. If Cooper Flag, and I don't have a problem with the shot. He just missed the shot, dude. It was a fadeaway 12-foot jumper in the lane that probably won the game, and he missed the shot. Did Mike make one of those when he was? Yeah, he did. He did. And I think Cooper Flag is going to be spectacular. I think Cooper Flag is going to be a tremendous pro. I really do.
Yeah, not everyone number 1 overall pick is going to be some transformational player. I think Cooper Flag is going to be very good at the next level because he's the big that can do everything.
Yeah, he just missed. He missed the shot.
He missed the shot.
Ruin James, good morning. You're on the Sports Channel. Hi, James.
Hey, man. Tough weekend, bro. Tough weekend.
Losing by 34 points? Yeah.
One thing that nobody's covering right now is that tonight history is going to be made. Calvin Sampson is going to be the first Native American coach to win the national championship. And that's not a lot of people know that he's Native American. But he's going to be the first one to win the national championship. I'm going out on a limb, man. I've seen that game, and man, that was a lot of courage. And the one thing I want to tell all you young kids out there: make your free throws, make them. Have a good one, guys. Take care.
Yep. Go to Ask Texas Tech about that too. Right? Same thing. All right, we'll wrap it up. Get you home on what day is today? It's Monday. When we get back, you're still welcome to get in at 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All-in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
6:50 is the tip time tonight here on the Sports Animal. Florida and Houston. Florida is a 1.5 favorite in the championship game of the NCAA men's basketball tournament right here on your home for college basketball, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. What else do you got to know? Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has agreed to a new deal with the Blue Jays. You're like, yeah, whatever. Why do I care? Well, let me give you the numbers, and you'll go, wait, what? 14 years. 14 years. 14 years, dude. What are you doing in 14 years from now?
No idea.
He's 26. $500 million. That's $500 million for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Mm-hmm. Connecticut is the champion of women's basketball. They beat South Carolina 86-59. And you got a new goal-scoring champion or leader or king in the National Hockey League because it was the great chase is over. And Wayne Gretzky was in the building, and Alex Ovechkin scored number 895 to pass Wayne Gretzky over the weekend. And Chris Howell is a Lobo. He is a former UC San Diego Triton who started 35 games for UCSD last year. Defensive specialist. He is joining his former head coach, Eric Olin, with the Lobos. 505-246-0610. Terry, good morning. You are on the Sports Animal. Good day, sir.
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, JJ. Quick shout out to Paige Beckers, all the injuries she went through and all that.
Yeah.
Get a ring on her finger. Seeing her coach afterwards kind of tear up, knowing what had been through. So I'm happy for her. Not a huge UConn fan, but good for her when she did it. My wife, in our family pool of about 20 people, my wife's the only one who has Houston, so she wins the money if Houston wins tonight.
That works,
so,
man.
Yeah, I guess I have to live that down. I had Florida, but too many people had other things better than me than Florida, so there's no way I'm going to win. Now, going back, Duke's a four-letter word in my household, but the blockout that Houston does, where they called the foul, they did the same thing in KU where they wrap the arms. I don't know if the NCAA is going to look at it saying, hey, wrapping your arms around somebody on a free throw, maybe they'll just let it go and not care. But I do refer to Kelvin Sampson, when he coached at Washington State. That's why I love Gonzaga, saying that, kind of Duke, paraphrasing, played in a foo-foo league. And Duke didn't have many games that were tight. And even the players referred to the KU game where they came back from 6 at the end. Houston did. And, when you kind of have it cruised, sometimes it doesn't work out. I think they were trying to run the old Miss play where you lob it down and from that standpoint, and then one guy catches, tosses to the other guy for the three. I think Houston definitely would have fouled if they tried to dribble it up the court, but it didn't work out either way.
Yeah, that's probably right.
I think it's going to be a war tonight, see what the refs let go or not go. Houston can be vulnerable to the threes, but we'll see if Florida knocks them down. Should be a heck of a game that way, but we'll work it out. Later in the week, I'll get in. I take the other side on unlimited transfers, but we'll get into that later in the week.
Okay.
But you guys have a great day. I think it'll be a great game. Take care. Be safe.
All right. Tax line says, not to bash the young kid, Cooper Flagg. Every close Duke loss was on the hands of Flagg, and he turned it over and missed a shot. Yeah, but in a lot of respects, he was the reason they were there, too. Look, man, he's 18 years old.
That's the point of being the best player. Every game is going to be on your shoulder.
Yeah. And he hit some, too.
You win and lose when the game runs through you.
People forget that even Mike, every once in a while, missed a game-winning shot, too. He didn't hit every one. So did LeBron, so did Kobe.
We're not, to compare Cooper Flagg to Michael Jordan is insane.
It is insane.
Michael Jordan hit that shot and went on to have an unbelievable career. I think Cooper Flagg is going to be a good NBA player. And it's evident, too, that before this season, last summer, what was he doing? He was playing with Team USA, the best ballers in the world.
And wowing
those guys were like, oh, this kid's got something.
Yeah, and wowing them, right? They were. I mean, it was at the Olympic trials, and they're going, holy smoke, who is this guy? Yeah. All right, you get it tonight. What time's our coverage start? We go on at 6 or what? Don't even know. I think it's at 6. But you'll get the Florida and Houston game right here. And you're home for the NCAA tournament, 95.9 FM. At AM 610, the Sports Animal. We'll break it down tomorrow. We'll have that all for you, and it should be fun. I think this is one of those nights. I know it's kind of weird that it's a Monday night, but there's part of me that really loves it. Like this is that Monday night where you go home and there's really something cool to watch on a Monday night and something that matters, and it's the culmination of the season, and it'll be all that. The Herd with Colin Coward's next. The Jim Rome Show will follow that. 2 Men On is in at 4, and then you get the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship, Florida and Houston. We're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio. We will begin at 7 a.m. Adrian, great work on your stuff. The visuals look great. He is J.J. Buck. I am merely Jeff Symbieta. Big day for you?
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We will smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost